It's just about 7.5 minutes gone past 11. The mid-morning buzz officially starts now. This morning, we want to welcome the officers from the Royal Grenada Police Force, the Traffic Department in particular. We have joining us Sergeants Ryan Smith and Sergeant Abraham. Gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the buzz.
Pleasant good morning to you and thank you for having us.
Always a pleasure to have you this morning, and we look forward to the discussions because we always learn so much when you come on. Sometimes we forget and sometimes we get new information. So we know the licensing and inspection has begun for 2021. How has that process been going so far?
Thus far, the process has been going fairly smooth. We've maybe just a few minor hiccups with our customers. In relation to the inspection of motor vehicles, Sergeant Smith is the one that is responsible for that area. So I'll give him the opportunity to say.
Pleasant morning to the viewing public. But first of all, I just want to remind the people of St. Vincent and the Grenadines that our prayers are with you. Now, the license and inspection period start from the 4th of January to the 30th of June every year, and this year is no exception. At the moment, we are in the third period of licensing motor vehicles, and that runs from the 1st of April to the 15th of May. So vehicles that carry the single registration letters from 5,001 to 7,500, and the period registration number 501 to 750. That is the period that are the vehicles that are being licensed at the moment. And we have a number of inspection centers being operated at the moment. At the police garage, that is Dusty Highway, Monday to Friday of every week, as well as at the National Stadium. And that is at the back of the cricket stadium where the practice pitches are located. We have Grenville, you have every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday of each week. You have St. David's every Thursday and Friday of each week. And we have Guelph Police Station every Monday and Tuesday of each week. We also have Victoria Police Station every Wednesday of each week, and not forgetting the Sister Isle of Carriacou, the last Thursday and Friday of every month. And also, we also run Carriacou from Monday to Friday as well.
Okay. I know, like a lot of other entities, we've seen the RGPF starting to utilize online services to speed up and make some processes a little bit more customer friendly. I know you also have the online pay-in, which should make the process a little easier. Tell us how that aspect has been going.
Well, that aspect has been going pretty well so far. The general public applaud that initiative. What persons are now much happier that they can just do the inspection and just get the decals at the same time, instead of having to get cash and then have to go to revenue and then come back again before they get the bill. So the hassle to get your vehicle license has eased quite a bit.
Okay, so what is the process for persons wanting to utilize the online service? Walk us through the online aspect of it. What it is they have to do first.
Well, I will prefer Sergeant Abraham speak on that subject.
All right. Thank you for the opportunity. Before I speak on the online payment, I just want to add to something that Sergeant Smith said in relation to inspection and licensing of motor vehicles in the period that we are in. What we want the general public to know also that at the last week of the period, the closing of the period, we also have a one-stop shop at the stadium. Right? So at the ending of every period, the last week, we also have a one-stop shop at the stadium. Now, in reference to paying online, the address is pay.gov.gd. Now, I think that this has caused a lot of ease, as Sergeant Smith has said before, for the customers. But there are still a little few problems that we are having. I receive a number of calls that persons are trying to pay the motor vehicle license inspection, and they're having any problems. Now, in relation to the problems that they're having, what we have noticed is that persons are not absorbing the information that is given, or they're not reading it. Because why some people are not getting through is because they are failing to observe that in an area where they have to only enter the last name, they put the full name. So once they put the full name, they would not get through, right? And we just want to make that clear. That area is after you enter your vehicle number, the registration number, below that it says enter your last name or company name. Now, if you enter your full name, you will not get through. And also, persons have a problem getting through. Sometimes persons would, sometimes the disc on the vehicle are destroyed by, for some reason or the other, with an accident, and they have to replace the windscreen of the disc. And when we do a replacement, the cost of the replacement is much lower than that of the regular cost of the licensing period. Now, if we do a replacement of your motor vehicle and the licensing period come and you try to pay online, you may not be able to pay online. But what you can do, you can call us, that we can rectify that problem so we can make it easy for you. And the number that you can call, because people are complaining that they call in the landline and having some problems. The number you can call is 405-6594. That's a licensing department at Inland Revenue. 405-6594. And I think that the online payment is very, very simple. And I think we have gotten a lot of applause for that initiative, which is, making it very easy for the public.
Okay, I have been getting some feedback as well. The people who utilize it and were successful in getting through, they did commend the process. So for those who haven't and are probably still skeptical, wanting to get a little bit more information, you pay first, and you're taking a receipt to the department when you're going to get inspected. Is that what happens?
Okay, well, you inspect first, which at sometimes some people pay first. It's still, it is not a problem. I think this is what happened at Dusty Highway area, that persons pay first, then they go and inspect. When the inspection is completed down there, they can also collect the vehicles right there. Yes, so the pay first system can work likewise.
Okay, wonderful. You mentioned earlier a one-stop spot at the end of each. Is it licensing period, or is it at the end of each month?
No. At the end of each licensing period. So this licensing period, as Sergeant Smith said earlier on, will be ended at the 31st of May. So the week that leads up to the 31st of May, right, will be at the National Stadium, where you can inspect, pay your cash if you prefer to do that, and collect your decals right there.
Okay, great. I think last year I heard a lot of people saying, it was one of the new procedures we saw brought on by COVID, but I think it worked really well probably minus all the crowds, because it got pretty crowded last year. But I see you've ramped up your systems to accommodate this year, and I think people appreciate the one-stop shop. Either one of you, can you speak to us about what it is you look for most when people are coming to you for inspection, and probably what are some of the things people fail the most for?
Well, first of all, once someone come to the center for the vehicle to be inspected, that person must present the vehicle in a thoroughly clean condition. And that doesn't mean just the outside of the vehicle, but the engine compartment must also be clean, so that all the devices in there can be exposed to detect any faults. Now, what we have seen over the period thus far is that persons are filling for number plates All right, your number plates must be reflective yellow. Most of the number plates are faded. Some are even started taking on the color, taking on a white color. Persons, the wiper blades are cracked and they cannot clean the windscreen properly. We have seen that as well. Also, persons unauthorized letters and figures being affixed to the front or rear of a motor vehicle. What the law requires is that no unauthorized figures or letters should be affixed to the front other than those on the registration plate. Now, we allow persons to write, for example, a name on the top part of the windscreen, and that pad should be of a width from the top from the top to the direction of the bottom of 8 inches. It must be 8 inches in length, so it shouldn't be more than 8 inches. We also seen persons tinting the vehicles so as to obscure the view from the outside to the inside. And we urging persons, yes, you can have your vehicle tinted, but you must also get approval from the licensing authority. You can also get approval to have any unauthorized figures affixed to the front or rear of a motor vehicle, but you must get approval in writing from the licensing authority. So the licensing authority must approve those things. Also, commercial vehicles. The law requires that all commercial vehicles must have its chair and gross weight affixed to the right side or the off side, so it can be on either side. But we are the license inspection center prefer that you have it on the left side because it's much easier to read, and the officer reading it would not have to go in the road because we drive on the left hand side of the road. So we prefer if you have the chair and gross weight written on the right side. Also, persons are being filled for boot rubbers. The boot rubbers are not in place. Some of them are loose. Poor handbrakes adjustment and so on. Unauthorized lights, LED lights. The law states that vehicles that are not manufactured in this fashion cannot use the LED lights. And the reason being is that once a vehicle that is manufactured to accommodate LED lights has a shield inside. So that shield now control the glare from the glare coming out of that headlight. But someone whose vehicle is not manufactured in that fashion, the opposing driver or the driver coming from the opposite direction will get all the glare from that light. So it doesn't control the glare from that particular light. So we want persons to be aware of those things and ensure that the rays coming from the headlamp is also uncolored. We've seen blue headlights and so on our roads. These white lights that cause motor vehicle accident, causing persons to run off the road. And we also want the general public to know as well that failing to dim your lights is an offense, and that is driving without reasonable consideration for other road users. So these are the things that also I just want to bring to the fore, silencers in motor vehicles. Persons are removing the silencers. So the mufflers or the noise that emits from those vehicles are pretty loud. All right, so we want to control the noise and so on as well.
Okay, quite a few items you look for. I want to go back to a couple of them. I want to start with the lights. Are you able to adequately inspect the lights during the daytime when people come? Because at nights we see a lot of super bright, as you say, they're LED lights blinding people on the roads. Are you able to see them when they come to you in the daytime?
Yes, well, we will normally operate in a shaded area. So once that vehicle is under that shaded area, you will be able to see the color and so on from those lights. And the officers are accustomed, so they would notice those lights quite easily in the daytime as well.
Okay. I know in some countries they when during the inspection period they have adjusters and they would tell you where the light should hit and it shouldn't spot a driver. So do you have those as well that you work with?
We definitely we are heading in that direction to get to be more technologically advanced to ensure that we have those features at the center. We are heading in that direction, so we can do a more thorough inspection, so to speak.
Okay. In the past, we've heard suggestions that maybe the inspection should include a mechanic or so to make sure that, the vehicle is in proper functioning conditions, because sometimes people just do a quick fix just to get by you, and then we see problems on the road. Is that a direction you're looking in as well?
Yes, because also some of the inspectors are qualified mechanics. All right. So, and we try to make things as fair as possible to the person that comes to the center to seek our service. In that, once the officer look at it and we see something further, we will get someone who is more qualified. In other words, you will get a mechanic. Then when we get a mechanic and the mechanic look at it, and then we refer it to an engineer. All right, so a mechanical engineer will also be seek advice from as to the way forward in dealing with the issue.
Okay. I want to go back to the number plates. You mentioned they have to be a reflective yellow, I think it is, you said.
Yes, reflective yellow.
A reflectively yellow, it can't be faded. We saw probably a week or two ago, there was an incident with a bus operator that, I don't know if he was charged. I believe he was charged. There was a small crack at the bottom of his number plate. It was yellow. And I think there was an altercation that led to his arrest. What happened there?
Well, the law requires that the number plate must be rectangular in shape. So once the number plate is not rectangular in shape, it is broken, or the figures are not the figures and letters on the number plate cannot be easily distinguishable from a reasonable distance, and it becomes an offense. So the offense doesn't only speaks to the issue of the figures and letters not being easily distinguishable, but it also speaks to the size of the letters. It also speaks to the number plate being rectangular in shape, and the number plate was broken at the time. So there is a violation of the law right there.
I see that. Rectangular, and a simple break would automatically change that rectangular shape. I got you. I wondered because I thought it just needed to be visible. So that is a violation. Got you. Okay, interesting. The tints. I know some people, and I think it is advised by some health professionals that a darker tint will protect you more from the sun, and especially if you have certain seats, it could help them last longer. And so, what it is you look for when you're advising on tints? Is there a specific shade how dark can people go to?
Yes, well, normally we would advise persons to get 20% tint, but that individual must be mindful, though, that you must take into consideration the color of your interior. For example, if your interior is black, all right, and you decide to use 20%. Your car might look darker than it appears, and it might be difficult for the officer to have the view of the inside of the vehicle, or from the inside of the vehicle from the outside. So we'll advise 20%, but you must take into consideration the color of your interior. Now, there are certain persons who have a particular sickness, probably skin cancer, and they need the tint. The RGPF is heading in a direction where services is of paramount importance. So what that person can write to the Commission of Police and get approval. You have a sickness, and we wouldn't and they wouldn't deny you. All right. So persons who want to have the back thing for a specific purpose, then you have to write and then lay down your purpose. Why do you need it? All right, and then the RGPF will reach out to you.
Okay, wonderful. I like the engagement with the public. Thanks for telling us that. I want to go to the lettering. You mentioned it has to be what is allowed? You allow for, is it 8 inches from the top of the screen?
Yes, that is for the sunshade that we normally allow at the front on the windscreen. So it's 8 inches from the top coming down to the bottom.
And is it front or back?
Well, it's actually for the front.
For the front. I'm sure you would agree that we've seen then. Is that a new rule?
No. It's been there for ever since, but we have seen a number of violations in that aspect.
We've seen quite a few over the years. I'm just thinking of the buses, for instance. I think almost every bus then is violating that rule.
Yeah, well, the bus, the issue with the back, the back, it must be 10 inches from the bottom to go up. So the buses should not have the entire rear windscreen tinted. Also, we have been seeing a trend where persons are also tinting the front windscreen, and that is a trend that we want to stop immediately.
Mm-hmm. Would you agree there is greater enforcement of those rules this year?
Yes, I would agree that there are greater enforcement this year.
Why though?
Why though? Because we have been more beating dealing with issues, and also we have been using more technology to get things done and how to deal with persons who are trying to beat the system.
Okay, I got you. I thought it was for a different reason, but okay. I thought the coffers were low and you were trying to help in the revenue raising efforts.
No. It's all about road safety.
Road safety.
It's all about road safety.
Okay. It's probably too early to probably review how your efforts have been, but do you think you're making an impact?
Yes, we have been making a significant impact.
Okay. We have to take a quick break. It is 29 and a half minutes after 11, and I see the lines have been going. I know people have a lot of questions in this listening period, so we take a quick break, and when we come back, folks, we will entertain some of your calls. So callers, just stick a pin, and those of you wanting to get inside, we can do so 435-2041, but we need to take a quick break, and we'll come back to you in a short while. Stay with us on The Buzz.
There's never a bad time to...
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Feel good facts.
Avoid the most common causes of spreading the flu. Cover your coughs and sneezes with a tissue, dispose of it straight away, and either wash your hands or use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer.
Grenada's Chief Medical Officer has ordered that all confirmed positive COVID-19 individuals, their contacts, and members of their household must remain in quarantine or isolation for 14 days. Any Anyone who fails to comply with this order will be in breach of the Public Health COVID-19 Regulations 2020 and is guilty of an offense. Upon summary conviction, that person will be liable to a penalty of up to $10,000. A message from the Ministry of Health.
Can you spend wisely and have more savings? Yes, you can. Learn more with Money Matters on GBN Television. The Money Matters series explores 12 top ways to save money. In this series, you would learn how to save by setting up your spending money right. Save on vehicle loans, home improvement projects, your credit cards, and even on prescription drugs. Tune in every Tuesday morning at 7:15 for Money Matters, a lighthearted conversation with financial planner Tali Francis. Follow the rebroadcast on Thursdays at 6:50 p.m. and on Sundays at 7:30 p.m. Money Matters is a financial literacy public awareness program sponsored by Republic Bank Grenada.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Stop the spread of germs that can make you and others sick. Cover your nose and mouth with a tissue when you cough or sneeze. If you don't have a tissue, use your elbow. Wash hands often, especially after coughing or sneezing into a tissue.
To that midday hour, and this morning we're talking with Sergeant Smith and Abraham of the Traffic Department. We're looking in particular at the licensing and inspection period that is on now. Before the break, we did promise you'll be taking some of your calls, and we had a caller on the line holding. Caller, good morning. You still with us?
Yes, good morning, Miss McDonald. Greetings. Tell me something. Can your guests hear me?
Yes, they can.
Very well. Listen to me. Last year, just around the time, or probably a little older, just at the commencement of the licensing period, I asked this question. And I was given the assurance that the RGPF was in process of getting things on the way. It has to do, according to international norms on traffic and transit, and the safety involved, that in vehicular inspection, one of the most important components is that of exhaust gas emissions. Question once more. The police in Grenada manage, inspect and qualify vehicles for use on the road as it relates to the exhaust emissions. Is it by whims and fancy? Is it by the little equipment that can tell you your concentration of gases that the vehicles emit, etc.? How do you do it? And how far have you reached? I don't know if they say amen, right? How far have the police reached in getting this component of inspection, vehicular inspection, on the way? Thank you very much. Have a nice day, will you?
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, officers, any response?
Yes, what I can say at the license and inspection center, we have been undergoing some training. Also, the device that he recommend to test the emissions of gases from motor vehicles, that is a recommendation that was made, and at the moment it is being looked at, right? So it's I cannot say how far that has reached, but it is something that is being looked at.
Okay, still work in progress. We take another caller. Caller, good morning and welcome to the buzz.
Good morning. I'm calling regarding the inspection as of May 1st. Is it that you go to the Dusty Highway? Because I just tuned in. Is it that you go to Dusty Highway, or I know they accommodate the latecomers, etc., at the National Stadium? That is number one question. Secondly, and I hate to use this term, it's almost comical to see the inspection process because the vehicle has never been on a lift. I don't know what you're inspecting. You're inspecting visuals, so why don't you just change the name and just say, you're looking for cosmetics?
Okay, thank you. The first question was regarding the sites. I know you outlined them earlier, but he got in a bit late. You want to just highlight again for us?
Yes, the sites. Both Dusty Highway, the license center, Dusty Highway, and the National Stadium. Both those run from Monday to Friday of each week, and they run simultaneously. So the caller can access both license centers from Monday to Friday of each week.
Okay. We take a final call. Caller, good morning and welcome to the buzz.
Hi, good morning to you and to the officer. I didn't hear everything, but a quick question about commercial vehicles. I have a very serious concern for the SL and the trailer hauling trucks that traverse our roads. Some of them are looking very old, and of course, because of their sheer size and weight, they can do a lot of damage. I am not satisfied that these trucks should be inspected only annually. I believe that there should be a more frequent examination of those trucks and also spot checking of the drivers of those trucks for substance abuse, alertness, whatever, because to me it's a tragedy waiting to happen. We've had some close calls already with these heavy trucks, but to me, testing or examining those trucks, the way we examine vehicles or inspect vehicles once a year for those vehicles is totally inadequate. That's my contribution.
Okay, thank you so much. Officers, any feedback on that concern?
Yes, the caller, the RGPF do agree with you. As a matter of fact, there is a meeting scheduled for Wednesday with truck owners to address some of the issues that you just shared there. So thank you very much for your observation as well.
Okay. Let's just move on a little bit. We're almost out of time on this segment, but I know in the past you've had the insurance component a significant part of the licensing process. Is that still the case, and has there been is there compliance?
Yes, the insurance component is still a part of obtaining your decals after inspection. And what we have noticed that some persons are coming in, but still forgetting to bring the insurance certificates with them. Some of the issues that we are still having in relation to the insurance certificates is that persons are still trying to manipulate the certificates. In other words, they edit and alter certificates. For example, somebody may obtain a certificate in 2018, 2019, and they would not go back to renew that certificate, but they may scan it, edit it, and change dates and so forth in it. Thus far for the year, well, even this morning that we started an investigation with one of the certificates that we have received in the closing of the period that gone. And a number of persons are doing it. And we want persons to refrain from doing this, because can you just imagine that somebody is going to knock your vehicle or knock off your property or even knock you as an individual? And when you inspect that person's certificates of insurance, that they don't have a genuine insurance certificate. So you are just left with the person and maybe in court and nothing to cover you. Now, I want persons not only to think of themselves. I see it as a very selfish act, that you only think of yourself. You're trying to escape paying a few dollars, and later on it may cost you a whole lot more, and even the life of somebody has been lost. The insurance certificate, we want persons to know that we only accept the original copy of the certificate. For that same reason, that persons don't bring duplicates of photocopy that they may edit and manipulate to make us believe in that it is a genuine copy. So for that reason also, we don't accept electronic copies. So when you go to your insurance, ensure that you obtain your original copy of your certificate. If you commit anything other than the original, we will not accept it. So I think that persons have difficulty in accepting the change because certain things they are customers. But as Sergeant Smith has already alluded to, that we are about road safety. And all these things are included in road safety. Another thing that I just want to highlight is the placement of disc on the windscreen. Now we see persons are placing the disc in all different places on the windscreen. But the disc is to be placed on the left-hand corner of your windscreen, the bottom corner of your windscreen. I observed a vehicle on several occasions while driving on the road that the disc is way up in the tint at the top. The officers cannot see that, right? So we just want people to just adhere to what is required, and then everything and everyone is just going to have a good day.
Okay. To the people who are faking the insurance certificate, I'm hoping the next time we hear from you, we're going to hear that those people were charged.
Well, just to let you know that the one that there was one somewhere in the first period, that matter is already in court. Now we started an investigation in one today. Now that matter will also be going to the court once we get into the bottom of it. Yes, okay. So we are not going to allow it to pass. So once we observe it, we are going to deal with it, and we are going to take persons to court in relation to that.
Okay. And it still is a criminal offense to be operating a motor vehicle without the required insurance.
Yes, yes.
We had a caller on the line. Let me see if that person is still there with us. Caller, good morning.
I'm still there.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. I have a problem with people who have their cars with loud DJ music in the night, in the morning, in the afternoon, all times. It's very uncomfortable, especially in the night. Sometimes you're sleeping and they pass and they wake you. I'm looking after a disabled person, and it's really bad for the person. So I'd like the police to look into that. Nobody said that people must not comfortable, but you cannot be comfortable and make somebody else uncomfortable. You have your thing for yourself. Use it for yourself. Thank you, sir.
Thanks. I call those the mobile DJs. I know you look for the modified lights at the point of inspection. Can you look for people modifying vehicles and in putting in the speakers and so as well in their private vehicles?
Well, music there is a law that deals with music in omnibuses. All right, hired vehicles that they should not have speakers that can emit more than 20 watts and so on. But the law also, Regulation 28 also speaks to that any a vehicle that make a loud noise to the annoyance of any persons. So we can utilize that part of the law to deal with those loud music. And we do deal with them when we meet them in town as well, while we are in patrol. We do deal with them.
Okay. Gentlemen, we're almost out of time on this segment. Is there anything else we should be aware of as it relates to the licensing and inspection process before we wrap?
What I would want to urge persons who wish to get the vehicle inspected or have to get the vehicle inspected, they should utilize all the various inspection centers, especially those in the parish, with the view of decreasing the amount of crowd in any one area. We know that we are in a pandemic time. Also, persons can inspect the vehicle early, so in the event that they have to make any alteration, that they have enough time and it wouldn't take them beyond the inspection period for the particular vehicle. So we urge persons to cooperate with us at the various centers and follow the officers in instructions there.
Okay, Sergeant Abraham, any closing words from you?
Yes, I just want to take this opportunity, as Smith said, that the earlier you inspect is better for you. But in relation to obtaining your decals, the things that are required is the inspection certificate, your original and genuine insurance certificate, and your payment receipt. These three things are required for you obtaining your decals for your motor vehicle to have been licensed to be on the road.
Thank you so much. And again, thank you so much, gentlemen, for coming on this morning and sharing with us on the Mid-Morning Buzz. And I hope it goes towards enhancing the processes and making it a little bit more smoother. And I hope, folks, you understand. Sometimes I know we make the videos, we get a bit emotional when we interact with the police, and it probably didn't go the way we wanted it to, but we have some more information to work with today. Thank you again for coming in and sharing. We have to leave it here. It is 10 minutes to 12. You have to stay with us on Classic Radio. The midday edition of the news is up next. I'm Janelle. An absolute pleasure being with you. Have a great Tuesday. Bye-bye.